Sukshma Sharira, which is one of the parts of the Sharirs according to our anatomy, has often been translated as astral body. So tell us what you think is the difference between these two.
Well, first we have to know what is Sukshma Sharira.
Yes.
And then you can see whether it fits in the
Right.
meaning of astral body. So, Sukshma Sharira, according to our scriptures, contains 17 tattvas in it. There are 5 pranas, because everything in this body, both Sukshma as well as the gross physical body, works with the prana. That is why it is the life giving force, because the consciousness of the Atma into the body comes through the pranas. So, all the functions in the body happen through the prana, and that is why there is pranayam to control that. So, there are 5 pranas, then there are 10 senses, then there is manas and ahankara. So, this is what constitutes the Sukshma Sharira. When someone dies, then the Atma leaves along with the Sukshma Sharira and goes to another body. So, the gross physical body remains here, but the Sukshma Sharira leaves. So, this obviously is not the understanding of the astral body. Astral body is related with some cosmic travel or whatever they say. So, Sukshma Sharira is all the time with the Atma, from one body to another body, and not only at the time of moksha or mukti, the Atma becomes free from the Sukshma Sharira. So, Sukshma Sharira is actually the conditioning of the Atma, and all the karma is stored in it.
How about the Karan Sharir?
So, Karan Sharira is part of that, Sukshma Sharira.
So, the Karan Sharir as a sort of a storage of karmic impressions,
right,
karmic effects, sort of, yeah.
So, Sukshma Sharira you can say is little bit more expand from the Karan Sharira.
Right.
So, Karan Sharira is more compact, and then there is Sukshma Sharira, and then you have the physical, this gross physical body. So, these are different levels. So, Sukshma Sharira entails the other one into it, and when the Atma is leaving, then it leaves. So, Atma is surrounded by that, and there is a Karan Sharira, where Karan is that which basically has, as you said, the imprints or the karmic storage in it, and then that comes into the Sukshma, and from there it comes into the gross.
So, the
body.
Total effect of all the karmas as contained, it is not a physical location like a cloud or somewhere where the Karan is contained, but it is there. That kind of a memory expresses itself in the form of a Sukshma Sharir, because even the Sukshma Sharir is sort of molded according to the karma.
Yes.
And then the Sukshma Sharir is very subtle, has a lot of things that is not physical matter, that is not physical body, but then it has the effect of on a certain kind of physical body.
Right.
And also does it shape the thinking, because what decision you make?
Yeah, because all the impressions are stored in it, and it is from that the thought process comes. So, it is actually if you understand the Sankhya, then it is easy to understand.
Right.
So, Sankhya explains that how from Prakriti comes Mahatattva.
Right.
So, Mahatattva is that which constitutes the Karana.
Right.
And then from there comes the material Ahankara, and then the senses, the bhutas, tanmatras. So, all these things, they are making your Sukshma Sharira.
So, there is a whole cosmology and there is a whole anatomy of who we are, how we are.
Right.
And astral body is a sort of a digestion of this very elaborate system into something very simple, not understood, not necessarily consistent, but it is part of the pre-Christian Greek and these kind of
it
people.
comes from Plato.
Yeah.
He gave the idea of this. And
yeah. So, while Christianity does not have some of these things, but when Westerners want to U-turn from Hindu knowledge and take it back into their own tradition, either they take it back into Christianity, and then you have things like Christian yoga, or if the thing doesn't fit at all, then they'll try to find some Greek thing, some Hellenistic, some other part of their tradition, non-Christian, and try to locate it there, because that way they can feel that this is mine as a Westerner, and it is not something I'm practicing some weird Hindu stuff which is not mine. To make it fully mine and yet disconnected from the dharmic source, it becomes important to find a home. So this astral body has become a kind of a digestion mechanism for digesting all sorts of things.
Right.
Like, just like energy for, Shakti and so on. They're always looking for something. They can say, okay, this fits into my framework, my history, my sense of who I am. So we're going to map it onto that. So
Yes.
astral body is one of those.
Yeah, so they do that, but the problem comes that when they're trying to map, there are certain essential elements which are left out.
Yes, some distortion, some truncation.
Yeah, and maybe something unnecessary is added on to it.
They may say in the beginning, okay, we'll keep all the properties of Sukshma Sharira intact, and you just call it astral. The point is that once you've forgotten the original vocabulary, you don't have your access to the Sankhya.
Right.
You've lost that source, that Shastra. It's become redundant. Now you're into some Plato studies and some mythology of Europeans and so on. And so now astral body is going to get mixed up with all of that. So as this proceeds, it becomes more and more removed, more and more distorted from what the subtle body, what the Sukshma Sharira is all about.
Yeah, so just like in they have this yin and yang, they don't translate it.
Yeah.
They keep it as it is.
Right.
So now, yeah, if you want to study, you have to actually get into it. What is actually yin and yang?
Right.
But if you translate it and you call it something positive, negative energy or something, then the original sense is just lost.
Right.
But if you really want to get the concept, then you're forced to study
And
it.
every generation has to repeat the study for itself.
Right.
So you need access to the original source, every generation, and proper gurus to understand it for yourself. So the original source, being in Sanskrit, has to be non-translatable. You have to understand it. The moment you translate it, it will atrophy the original source because it will be considered redundant and useless. And the publishing industry in English will just dominate and take over, and we won't even know what the thing really meant. So, Sukshma Sharira should not be replaced by astral body or anything like that.
Because, yeah, this is very important point you have raised, that we have to understand that the thinking process of the sages of India and the thinking process of the Western scholars or philosophers, they just don't match.
Right.
So obviously their languages have developed
Right.
correspondingly.
Right.
So the language which developed here is to express the thinking process of the people here, and languages which they have developed there is to express their thought process.
Right.
And these are just two different thought processes. They don't match. There may be some certain things which are common, but not everything. So certain things we can translate, I agree with that, but not every word can be translated.
Right.